What's up, everybody? Gabriel here with naturalwhetstonesharpening.com and the Facebook community group Wild Whetstones. And today I'm sharpening my EDC. It's a Spyderco Chef. The steel is LC200N. This is a highly corrosion resistant, dare I say, impervious steel. It's used as ball bearing steel by NASA, so you know it's pretty good stuff. So I'm just using a Jasper bench stone because it makes it super simple to refresh my edge. The stone sharpens fine and fast, and you can play with how it feels by applying different grit preparations to the surface. This stone is set to be pretty medium to fine by polishing it to about 400 grit, 300 grit area on the surface, making sure it's dead flat. And every sharpening stroke it takes off steel, and the stone loads up and gets finer with use. So it really takes no maintenance. It doesn't ever dish out. You can't gouge it with any steel. And having a truly flat hone lets you get a truly precisely sharpened knife. I occasionally give the stone a splash of water when I'm sharpening. This just helps with glide. You can sharpen dry and it won't hurt the stone. This way though, you can see how much water your edge picks up, and you can see which areas need the most attention. The stone has a very engaging feel, and it makes it very easy to freehand with a little bit of practice of feeling when you're at the right angle and keeping very consistent in your strokes. Freehanding does slightly give your edge a convex property, so you don't get quite as flat of a toothy grind as you would if you used a precise clamp and honing system. But this puts a great edge right back on my knife that's very refined and very sharp. And with a little bit of practice, freehand I think is more intuitive and faster than using a guided system. That being said, if your knife is in really bad shape because you've been everyday carrying it and using the heck out of it, you may consider using a diamond plate first, because this is going to give the fastest, coarsest sharpening. And if you have a diamond plate, it pairs excellently with your Jasper stone, because you can also go like this to unload the surface of steel and free up the texture of the stone. This removes a very, very, very small amount of material, and you can do this for lifetimes and lifetimes, and you're not going to wear the stone out. So you can go longer and build a slurry. You can see my other bigger diamond plate has some slurry left on it from the last time I sharpened. But for today's purposes, I'm just going to sharpen with plain water to show that you really don't need any other tools. Once you have one of these Jasper sharpening stones, you pretty much have your whole kit covered, because the stone can be dual surface prepped. So if you use 120 or 220 grit sandpaper on the back of this, it textures the abrasive and shows more grit, whereas this side is more of a fine finishing level grit. And very quickly it puts a nice edge back on difficult to sharpen steel. You can see there's a little bit of toothiness left from where I set my first edge with that 325 grit diamond plate. This is good enough for the work that I do, but you will see that nice hazy mirror effect is taking over the scratch pattern very quickly. That's the Ancient Ocean Jasper. So it really does kick up the level of sharpness and the durability of your edge when it's more finely honed. So I'm gonna work on these teeth up in here for just a few more minutes, and we'll see if we can get it to look a little more like the bevel does down here, where it's much more finely polished. And a neat little trick for when you're finishing is give your stone just a drop of dish soap. This breaks the surface tension of the water in a different way, and it allows a little more slip and slide on the surface of the stone. Well, there you go. Back to razor sharp and ready for pocket duty. So, if there's something you guys would like to see in the next sharpening stone video, drop me a comment down below, or let me know what kind of knives or tools or axes or razors you're sharpening. And if you need any pointers, I do make any size sharpening stone. I make custom stones. And if you'd like to see my standard size and individually listed natural whetstones, check out naturalwhetstonesharpening.com, or feel free to come visit the Facebook community group Wild Whetstones if you'd like to add your energy to the fun. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace, power.